Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the weekly twin astrology forecast for the twin flames for the week ahead. We've got this very powerful Leo full moon coming up at the end of the week on Sunday. And so the energy really, I feel, is calling for us all to learn how to stand up for ourselves. And I do feel this is going to be a very triggering week. A lot of ego clashes, a lot of deflections, a lot of projections, and a lot of triggers in order for us to finally be pushed to release any illusions that we've kind of been clinging to. And so it's not going to be an easy week of energies. My day started off with a huge power struggle with my oldest daughter just refusing to go to school. And so whatever is coming up as a trigger, it's all going to be in the manner of how you approach these energies if you're willing to grow as a person at the soul level. And so there's going to be a lot of old issues resurfacing that kind of have been bothering us, whether it's issues within the connection or other issues within our social life. And so it does feel like everything we've been striving towards is just so very much out of reach right now. And so this is where we need to go deep down into some shadow aspects of self to strip away any illusions. And so what I do want to say is nothing really is exactly as it seems right now, which is creating and adding to the confusion. And so what's really happening is all of these cosmic energies this week are creating like this pressure cooker energy, pushing us to take control of our lives and our own destiny. And so this is where we set those strong intentions, where we actually do have to go deep within the void inside and actually do that inner work of confronting these shadows, confronting our fears, clearing all of these distortions and energy blocks so we can finally step into being this active participant. It is a co-creative journey. We can make our dreams come true, but we have to do the work. We have to take those guided action steps that we're kind of being guided to take. And so we've got all of these energies building, working together, leading up to the full moon in Leo. And so I do feel an intense week of healing, growth, going deep into all of our emotional baggage, our wounding, and managing how we feel. And when we go into all of these feelings and allow them to pass through us and our emotional body, that is when we are on the pathway of focusing on really healing ourselves. And so middle of the week, Wednesday, we have the sun forming a sextile to Chiron, and on that same day, the moon is going into Cancer. And so all of these feelings of home and how this Chiron transit is going to affect your own life is going to depend very much on whether you resist the lessons or if you try to work with the energies to master the lesson. And so Chiron serves as this wounded healer. We all have this within our natal chart. We all have a core wound that is part of our lives, part of our psyches, that touches us, that really gets triggered time and time again throughout our life. And so when we begin to really go into that wound and learn what's truly holding us back from manifesting a healthy sense of self-expression, then we have a hard time working with these energies. And so I really want to highlight, you really want to pay attention this week and look for where Leo falls in your natal chart. The sun rules Leo. We do have Chiron in Aries, which is a self-identity crisis or wound. And so where is Leo in your chart? Because this is going to be an area of your life that is going to be directly affected with the energies this week leading up to the full moon. 444. Fours are all about foundations, divine protection. We are protected as we break free from these illusions, these karmic relationship cycles that we've resisted to close out. And so this Leo energy, I want to say, you're really going to want to pay attention to where you have any personal planets in Leo and where any Leo energy actually falls in any of your houses. Because this energy is bringing forward our insecurities, our fears, our perceived failings, all of these unresolved emotional issues, and our sense of purpose is all kind of being unearthed this week and uncovered in order for us to deal with these issues. And I do feel for many of the divine feminines, and what was reflected with my daughter's adamancy about not going to school today, this is a direct reflection of dealing with issues surrounding a father wound, an abandonment wound that really has created a negative effect on our personal identity. 555. This is going to be a week of major challenges, upheaval, and changes. So we're really going to need to embrace this, because when we have any issues, say the divine feminine has any issues surrounding a father figure, a father wound, it really does affect all of our adult relationships with men. And so it also negatively affects our personal sense of creativity, our self-expression, and our independence. And so you might find yourself questioning all of this week during this time period, in order for us to come face to face with these negative patterns once and for all that keep repeating time and time again in our life, especially in regards with relationships with men, and especially our father figure. And so many of the divine feminines go down the pathway of addictions and extreme codependency issues within relationships, which leave the divine feminine, after dealing with these men, feeling even more insecure about who we are. And so any addictions coming up to be addressed that have really undermined your journey, you're going to have to probably deal with that this week. And I know we talk about a lot the divine masculines dealing with their wounded pride and ego with addictions. And this also does affect a lot of the divine feminines as well, whether that addiction is food, scrolling Facebook, shopping, drinking, drugs, smoking, all of these ineffective ways that we have been dealing with this void, filling this void. It's not going to work anymore. And so all of these energies are kind of being unearthed this week in order for us to create a new direction for our future. And that energy is playing out on Thursday, although we're feeling this sextile all week between Venus and the North Node. We do have Venus sextile the North Node exact on Thursday. And so this, you think of Venus deals with lovers, friends, creativity, beauty, finance. And so the energy is bringing forward all of these subtle cues, these signs, these synchronicities to get us back on the right track. So you might find yourself this week attracting unexpected healers or helpers along your journey in order to manifest this new path. And so there might be a new significant encounter this week coming forward that is going to reorient you, or you might meet up with somebody that will trigger this feeling of compelling you to go in a new direction. It's this energy of, hey, our destiny awaits us, guys. But we have to connect with our own co-creative strengths. We have to embrace our gift for networking and fostering healthy relationships. And we have to do the work in order to make our dreams come true. And so I do feel there's likely going to be a week of dealing with past relationship lessons that we keep stumbling through time and time again. And, you know, this is how we learn. We have to kind of make mistakes. And so even when we make mistakes, these mistakes are teachers for us in the long run to not repeat that same cycle. And so throughout the week, I do feel this buildup of very intense emotions leading up to the full moon, which does happen on Sunday, February 5th, and I think of Leo. So I have my North Node in Leo. I also have my North Node in Leo in my 6th house of Leo. And I also have my like I've got like this Leo stellium in my 6th house. And so I think of Leo energy. It's all about passion. It's the energy of the heart. And so fire signs can all harbor this energy, right? And so on the flip side, passion can lead to a bordering of ego, right? And so this is where some challenges come in. And so with the Leo energy, your biggest enemy and block towards love and reunion this week is going to be your ego. So get ready to deal with past ego clashes where maybe you did have some wounded pride. But we do need to remember, what I do feel has kept a lot of these divine masculines stuck from stepping into this collective mission with the feminine is their pride. Their pride and their ego, keeping them in a state of battle and conflict and blocking them from reaching a level of forgiveness. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines are struggling with bitterness, resentment when it comes to any past upheaval or disagreements. And so I feel deep down inside, though, there's this longing for harmony and love. And I did notice 1111 on the timer. And so this is where I feel a lot of the masculines are kind of sitting at right now, in this energy of fear, shame, and anger. And those energies will never, ever manifest love in our life because they are the opposite side of the vibrational scale of unconditional love. And so all of these states of anger and shame and fear kind of have to be worked through, because if you're still in that energy, then you're not tuned in to the frequency of love that we're wishing for, and therefore we can't really receive it, right? And so this Leo full moon is opposing Saturn, the Lord of Karma, and so this is going to be a very harsh aspect. I feel there's going to be a lot of outbursts. There's going to be a lot of blame games going on. And so you're going to be tempted to blame others or point the finger at others. But ultimately, if we are unhappy in our lives on any level, we really have nobody to blame but ourselves. So to cast blame on others is just a projection, right? And so Saturn is going to highlight that. It's going to ask you to dig deeper into the causes of why you keep playing into all of these challenging circumstances with outsiders from the connection. And so there's a lot of karmic baggage coming up this week. And I feel a lot of the divine masculines are aligned in these lesser negative experiences, and they keep getting lesser results because of all of this karmic baggage and all of these twin flame outsider karmic connections. And so a lot of these masculines keep repeating this cycle of running and separation, running and running and running. And this outsider karmic involvement, for example, is here to highlight the wounds. So the karmic really is working in conjunction with the divine to highlight what these karmic wounds are, what needs to be cleared, and what keeps causing this at a deep soul level for the masculine to keep running and staying in this separation timeline. And so there's going to be some challenges, I feel, for the masculine for the week ahead. We have Venus squaring it up with Mars. We have Venus in Pisces, Mars in Gemini. What I find very interesting is I was going through some personal natal charts, and my divine counterpart is a Mars in Gemini, and the karmic he is dealing with is a Venus in Pisces. And so this is really going to create a lot of emotional disconnect, a lot of emotional upheaval in the karmic contract. So squares are very hard aspects. So what I feel is the karmic can feel this distance. It's like the karmic's flapping her gums, and the masculine's kind of just silent, cold, and detached. And she clearly sees that distance. She clearly sees they're not on the same page, and that he really doesn't have any compassion or understanding for her in that entire karmic situation. And so I really do feel like the masculine is very much distracted right now, removed from the 3D world, that 3D contract, that egoic karmic contract. And I do feel like the masculine is full of all of this static and stress as he comes into the awareness of his own truth. And so the Venus square Mars aspect is going to bring forward intense feelings of love and hate, especially in these very karmic, intimate relationships. And so irritation is going to rapidly escalate to angry outbursts, temper tantrums, because of the intensity of this jealousy, possessiveness, and wanting to win. And so it's all of this pressure building, and the valve's gonna blow. Like the volcano's going to explode. I also feel there's a lot of increased sexual drive that the masculine feels towards the feminine, which is creating even more relationship difficulties, because I do feel the karmic's creating this very competitive tension. And I do feel there's this underlying sexual issue, like the masculine just isn't attracted to the karmic anymore. Their sex life really has gone down the tube, and that's going to create a lot of impatient aggression. I feel a lot of this energy leading up to the full moon is associated with anger, a lack of self-control. There's a lot of impulsiveness, aggressive energy, and I feel the masculine's about to lose his temper. I feel the karmic's about to go apeshit because she's facing rejection, and it's just gonna be this very hostile energy, because I don't feel the masculine and the karmic can agree on anything anymore, and there's this resistance to let go of this loss that needs to be let go of because of all the regret. And so Bailey, no barking. Bailey's on the bench. Don't you do it, Bailey. Come here. And so what I do feel, Bailey, there's going to be some volatile, explosive endings. Bailey, don't do it. Come here, Bailey. Come here. And so I do feel all of these deep, intense feelings are coming to the surface. The masculine is being asked to maturely work through these feelings, to be open and honest when it comes to sharing these feelings, if he wants to go towards his desires, which I do feel is the feminine at this time, who is stable, who is already in harmony. And so all of these difficulties, I feel, are bridging the gap so the masculine can release this toxic cycle of pushing and pulling, running and chasing, and loving and hating. Because the masculines, I feel, are in this deep conflict, and it is all stemming around any childhood issues between your parents and you growing up. And so I do feel a lot of the feminines are looking at the masculine from his egoic self. And I feel a lot of the feminines are just downright frustrated at this time. And so for the feminine, what I've been really striving towards is connecting to the higher self energy and completely removing myself from the 3D. So I know it's hard, right? A lot of us want to know what's going on with her counterpart. We check their social media, we spy on them. I don't keep any tabs on any of that at all. And so it's only the higher unconditional loving connection that I go into, where I receive my guidance, where I receive my messages and my support. And so when we interact with the counterpart's higher self, this is where we help awaken them to their physical 3D self along with their higher self. And so when we spend so much time focusing on the 3D separation or focusing on the masculine's ego projections as real, then we're only strengthening his ego, right? So I feel a week of releasing disappointments. Leo rules the heart. It also rules courage. It is the energy of kings and queens. And what I kept hearing was that song, if all of the kings had the queens on the throne. And so a lot of the feminines, we go through this fall, this spiral dance with this alchemical union process first. The feminines agreed to fall first and rise to be the way showers, to show the masculine how to release the past, how to go into the heart of the disappointments, to move forward into these higher states of consciousness. And so, although it seems impossible, I do feel this is a powerful week of reset. So feminine, what you need to do is be willing to rest, be willing to receive. This week is what I'm feeling, because the masculine is being lured back into that karmic cycle of victimhood. I do feel all of this past stuff that's really kept us under this veil of illusion or this clouded judgment of not being able to experience the highest energy. I feel with this full moon in Leo and Venus in Pisces, this is creating a tendency for the masculine to fall backwards into victimhood. And divine feminine, you're going to want to be careful. I also feel this is how the karmic is luring the masculine with the Venus in Pisces is, oh, poor, pitiful me, I'm the victim. How can you do this to me? And so I do feel the karmic's really been mistreating the masculine through negativity. And the gift in all of this is the feminine. And so a lot of the masculines are coming into this awareness and these feelings and perspectives of how they have been victimized by the karmic, how the karmic's energy really has been subtly negatively draining them and affecting them on a very false spiritual level. And so whenever there's a full moon, I just want to say expect dramatic revelations. And I do feel this Leo full moon is not falling short when it comes to any shocking revelations or inevitable conclusions that do need to be reached so we can enter into this new cycle. And so there's going to be a lot of cosmic events that are going to bring all of these simmering tensions to the surface, creating tense, triggering confrontations that need to rear its ugly head. And so the energy is going to be supercharged. We're going to be questioning people's motives this week, especially when it comes to lovers. When I think of Venus and Mars, this tense square aspect is really the energy we're going to have to contend with this week. And it's going to invite in conflict and tension, because we don't change unless we're thrust into a lot of conflict, tension, chaos. And so I do feel a lot of the karmics are feeling left out and rejected because the masculine's been giving them the cold shoulder recently. Interesting, 2222, master numbers here coming through. And so I feel the masculine's already made a decision about the future of these unions, and he knows it is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but he needs to reach a place of unwillingness to compromise. I do feel pride and ego really has been getting in the way when it comes to him coming forward and mending this bridge, this fence with the feminine. And they're going to have to take back some words that they promised to the karmic, that they wish they never made those promises. And so I feel how this is really going to manifest this week is the karmic lashing out. She doesn't really want... Sorry guys, I don't know where that cut out. I saw the phone was ringing. So how this is going to play out this week is I feel the karmic doesn't really want the masculine, but she doesn't want anybody else to have him either. And so I think get ready for the rose-colored glasses to be removed this week. We're going to have to really be careful and to read between the lines. We're going to not only have to listen to what is being said, but also what is being left unsaid. And so, as the saying goes, believe people when they show us who they are the first time, not what they tell us. And so this Leo Aquarius polarity playing out really is the balance between personal Leo energy and impersonal Aquarius. And so get ready to harness this energy by tapping into your own creative self-expression. And so when we have a healthy sense of our individual ego, then we can receive at the group level, right? Because we're here to be objective. We're here to balance all of our relationships. And I do feel at the same time honoring our independence. Sorry, I've got some messages coming through. My mom keeps trying to message me. And so any rebellious energy is coming forward to illuminate the conflict that's already been there, that's been avoided. So there's going to be a lot of abrupt endings, epiphanies, and revelations. And so if you have any personal planets in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, you're going to be most significantly affected by these energies this week. And so it is a week of getting ready for the next chapter, releasing any victimhood, any victimization, as challenging as that is, and going forward, knowing what it is that you need to do. The doorway is open. All we have to do is choose to arrive. But love can't reach us if we're still playing the victim and the blame game, because when we're in victim mentality, we're actually telling the universe we're shut off from love. And so Leo energy is all about the heart. This would be a wonderful week to journal, write about all of these unresolved issues and feelings, write about what you want to release, and burn that, get it out of your system and burn it under the full moon in Leo so we can rise higher. So let's jump in with some cards, see what else needs to come through. I'm going to start off by using my own Twin Flame handmade oracle deck. We're going to see what the main energies are. I just saw delays and Heros, Gamos Union, along with change in the wind. So we're going to see what needs to come through. So big message. The present. And so the gift really is staying in the energy of enjoying the present moment. When we enjoy the present moment, we attract more positivity. And so to stay present, I feel, is a message for the feminine, as the masculine is in this deep process of metamorphosis, transformation. There's that forgiveness. And this, I feel, is what's held the connection back, is any unforgiveness. We need to remember there is eternal love between us. And so to play into all of these power struggle dynamics, it really is past life karma coming up, is conflict stemming from past life karma. And it is all stemming around these unresolved inner child issues and wounds with our parents. And so we need to stay present, divine feminine. This is a really good week of maybe embracing a higher level of learning or esoteric study, because this this gateway is bringing in major shifts. And I do feel the masculines are in this process of deep transformation this week. And nothing is truly impossible, but we do got to take those steps, right? So I feel a week of facing some roadblocks and some challenges. And challenges are there in order to alternate the course moving forward, right? There's going to be a major paradigm shift this week when it comes to releasing the karmic soul contracts and stepping into preparing for the next chapter. So we're going to see what else needs to come through for the twins for the week ahead. There's that higher self energy. I love it. And so in order to tap into the higher self, we do have to dismiss the lower ego. And we do that by embracing gratefulness, joy, compassion, and understanding that there's always a divine plan at work. And so I do feel there is a lot of healing light surrounding the masculine this week. And the feminine, there you are, just connect to the higher self, the higher masculine self, and trust and understand the divine is orchestrating a plan this week in order to get these unwanted attachments and energy cords cut and cleared. And in order to do that, we do have to go into all of the painful memories, all of the unhealthy, painful memories, in order to release them for this renewal. And so I do feel there's a lot of angelic protection around the masculine, pushing him towards forgiveness. And that is what's going to liberate all of this heavy heart pain. And so I do feel the masculine really is surrounded by a lot of angels, spirit guides, as a form of protection, as all of these unwanted thought processes kind of wash through them in order for a rediscovery. So I think they're finally seeing the karmic situation for what it actually is. They didn't see it clearly before. And then we got the presence energy. So divine feminine, stay present. Stay present in the moment. You being fully present is allowing that karmic dynamic to break apart. So your purpose right now is to stay present and stay balanced within the chakra body as the masculine comes into this understanding of his mission for humanity. Let's see what's being illuminated, waiting for you, fresh start. I do feel a lot of the masculines are waiting for the feminine to reach out again saying, are you ready for a fresh start? But I know the feminines are at a place where they're all done extending that olive branch. But there is a fresh start here. We are entering into the next chapter. We can't wait on anybody to take the lead. We kind of got to take the lead, right? So what other messages need to come through for the twins for the week ahead? Okay, clarity is coming, guys. But I do feel there's going to be a lot of purging of some repressed emotions. It feels very heavy on the heart. Interesting how it's split. I do feel the masculine is very passionate about you, divine feminine, but there's this fear of coming forward and being emotionally vulnerable. But I do feel making plans to come towards you. And on the flip side here, the masculine sees your light. They know they need to come forward and ask you for some guidance. And they're dealing with that double loyalty, right? They've still been split on the fence. They're dealing with that very karmic attachment where I feel she's clinging to control. And what's really prevented the masculine from moving, packing up and leaving, I feel, is their finances. They've been struggling with their finances and using the lack of money as an excuse to stay where they're at in their comfort zone in this very unhealthy karmic attachment. Even though the masculine is loyal to the feminine, he's portraying that he's loyal to the karmic, staying stuck in this victimhood, shutting himself off to love. And so when we're shut off to love, we are shutting ourselves off to manifesting abundance in our lives too. And so clarity about this past life connection, coming out of that confusion. And I do feel blessings are on the way, maybe around a birthday, an upcoming birthday. That's interesting. My divine masculine's got his karmic has a birthday coming up on, I believe it's February 23rd or 24th. And I do believe that's going to be the last straw. I also feel for my own personal journey, he'll be giving her a box of darkness, maybe come Valentine's Day or her birthday. Actually, speaking of Valentine's Day, it will be exactly 4 years ago to the day that I initiated separation on Valentine's Day with my counterpart. And I do feel the masculine is afraid to call it quits with the karmic. So the next holiday in Canada here, we got Family Day coming up. But I'm going to say like the next holiday would basically be Valentine's Day. There's going to be a rebalancing. And I feel some of the masculines have stayed stuck too if they've got children in the karmic relationship, or if the children have been involved. That's been like a hang up or a hold up for this process. So we're going to dig in and see what the current energies are coming through this week. Look at that. We got two major arcanas, guys. We got the Hierophant and the Justice in reversed. So there is going to be a ruling, I feel, made in the divine feminine's favor. But there's a lot of karma playing out in the masculine's life this week. Libra, Taurus energy. And so the divine is saying it's time to find the meaning of your life. It's time to consider an alternative pathway. The divine is saying it's time to only surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. And so This is divine orchestration. Divine is kind of stepping in at this point in time, guys. So we're going to get the current situation between the twins right now. Oh, jeez. Okay, so the current situation. Oh, the Justice just came up right now. So we've got the Justice, the King of Coins, and the Lovers reversed for the current situation. That also came out with the Eight of Swords, Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So there's going to be a lot of aggressive communication, sudden changes. I feel the masculine is just itching to quickly break free from that attachment, that contract where there's a lack of cooperation, there's a lack of creativity, nothing's really working out. This is like the breakdown of a group. It's just not working. There's no harmony. And, you know, the masculine can choose to be free. He can choose to be free and make a courageous choice to change his situation. But I feel he's not really seeing things super clearly. So the Lovers reversed is basically the devil, right? He's in a very toxic, trauma-bonded situationship where there is a lack of deep emotional contentment. He's not embracing love. There's not love there. It's two people not on the same page. There is going to be a reorientation. There's a lack of equality there. And so what I feel, the masculine's been staying there because of money and finances, trying to build his financial successes and his resources. And I do feel the masculine maybe has been staying stuck there because maybe he's the only one that is accomplished and stable and successful, and he fears leaving the karmic behind who might not be able to take care of ourselves. But it is time to make that decision, to be clear on what you want, and to take action. And so a week, I feel, of detoxification, purification. And so the current energies and emotions coming through this week, I love it. We get the Empress with the Four of Pentacles. We also got the Three of Cups in reversed with the Death reversed. And so clinging to control, that karmic is really clinging to control, does not want the masculine to release the past. But what I feel is going on here is a huge release of that entire social community, that social group, the friends. The masculine is saying, hey, I'm all done in this relationship, all done. This is, you know, the cancellation of an engagement. There's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of people talking about this, about the masculine wanting to come back from the past. I feel the emotions are saying he's never let go of you, Divine Feminine. He's holding on to you so tight. He knows he needs to come towards you. The feminine is looking very luxurious, very abundant. Feminine's manifested all kinds of resources, is being creatively awarded, rewarded. And this resistance to this change is bringing in extremes. So the masculine might be building his finances. He might appear successful and stable, but there might be an extreme change in money this week for the masculine to learn about giving and receiving, right? The equality of giving and receiving. And then we do get the Temperance, which is Temperance Angel. And so a week of mastering self-control. And there was a lot of forgiving and healing energy saying it's time to go reach compromise with the feminine if you want success in your life and a new beginning in love. And so I do feel there's going to be a change. This could mean new, unexpected money coming your way, Divine Feminine. You're about to reap some harvest here, a promotion, change in jobs. Let's see what is coming in the near future. Ooh, wow. Healing with the Star, healing, Aquarian energy. And then we get the Four of Cups and the Ace of Michael in reversed. So that's the masculine lying, about just how much he's been struggling with these emotions inside. He's becoming aware of the missed opportunity and how he's allowed all of these people to hinder this union. And I do feel there is a lack of clear communication, which is creating all kinds of problems with others this week. But this is where we end all of these difficult karmic situations, and wishes are coming true, healing. So there's that Judgment in reversed. Is it Judgment or the Wheel? But there's a new beginning here, and forgiveness is needed. So a major review of the past. I also feel the masculine is facing some karma for choosing the Queen of Cups in reverse. There's that Venus and Pisces energy coming through. Coming to the understanding that he's not dealing with somebody very trustworthy. So let's see what a surprise from the universe is. Ooh. Wow. Got a Tower, guys. Something's getting blasted out of the water. And it's that false foundation with the Ten of Pentacles in reversed. It's time to change directions here. There's definitely a loss of finances, I feel, for not honoring the higher promise, or the family life with the feminine. So there's going to be a sudden breakdown that is going to break the masculine free from all of this procrastination and big changes. And so that's coming in. Like, there's no passion in the karmic soul contract. There's no passion. There's no creativity. It's a bunch of challenges. This is unwelcome news being delivered. I feel the karmic wants to try again, try again, try again. That's the ex, the karmic. She wants to try again, but there's just no chance at this working out. And so that Tower's coming in and blasting things out of the water. And it very well could be the karmic lashing out with the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords in reversed. She's angry. She's bitter. I think there's fear because she's not very self-reliant. And she's tried to mask all of these fears with humor. And I feel liar, liar, pants on fire is what I want to say. And she sees clearly now that the masculine was never going to commit to her. There's a lack of passion, and I feel a knowing of, hey, it's time to make these changes. Major realignment. So we're going to get an overall energy for the week ahead. There's that Leo energy, the Strength reversed with the Six of Pentacles and the Fool, the next chapter. So this is like ego death. The masculine is really losing his strength, his power. He's been so compliant within the false contract, and he's having a hard time offering forgiveness. I feel he's worried about his material needs being fulfilled. And I do feel, once again, that giving and receiving energy. The masculine needs to find gratefulness in his heart for the lesson and to believe in himself. So it's a week of listening to the heart, taking that leap of faith and doing what gives you joy. But it's not going to come without feeling the depths of the pain of the separation. And if we are to release the past and to grow through all of these challenging circumstances and situations, we have to feel the wound in order to heal the wound. So there is a new beginning here. There's a lot of karma playing out. You decide which side of the karmic scales you're on. But we are starting a new cycle. We are finding our purpose. And I do feel as we review the past, release the past, and feel the pain, we go into this healing energy this week. So we'll get one last closing message with the Rose Oracle deck. What else do the twins need to be aware of when it comes to getting all of this out of our system so we can rise higher? Ooh, and that one went right on the floor, guys. Ooh. Wow. Are you ready? Are you ready? The return. It's time to write a new story. We get to decide. So I do feel as the feminine aligns, this is all coming together, and there is going to be an opportunity for a second chance. It's never too late to choose a new path. It's never too late to go towards these new possibilities. And so forgiveness is what's going to be needed. I feel the masculine is receiving clarity about this fresh start, this positive new outlook as he goes deep within, some heart chakra healing. And this is all to heal that mother line, the mother line. And what the feminine is doing is some very deep ancestral healing work for all of the future generations. So I do feel a week of divine rapture. So what do you want to lovingly devote your life to? Because these connections can bring forward intense ecstasy and pleasure. But we have to embrace the potency of the energies, and we have to do the inner work. And that's kind of what I got, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, hit me up. Check the description box below. I have a couple openings left this week. Spaces are booking up fast. I do plan on continuing the zodiac signs. I don't know how many I'll get through today, if any at all. But I'm hoping to get those all done over the coming days. So keep an eye for that, guys. And I hope you all have a great week ahead. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Namaste, everybody.